Hello everybody and welcome. In this episode of Minecraft Hardcore, I build a canal. I build a boat. And I build a sheep. Yes, it's gonna be a build-packed episode, so if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and let's jump straight in. Now we haven't even gotten started properly yet and already I have had some technical difficulties. I have recorded 2 hours of this screen. I don't know how it happened, 4 separate recordings totaling 2 hours, and this is all I have to show for it. So let's jump ahead a little bit and get back to where the action is. And first things first, I have some animal news. I have decided to tame Chicken Horse over here. I've got him a nice little saddle, and Chicken Horse is now the newest member of our little family. And, well, he can jump, and he can run. How well he can do either of those things, I don't really know because I've got nothing to compare it to, but it really doesn't matter because he is mine, and I love him. So let's just park him here for now. And although I don't really have a use for Chicken Horse since I've got the Elytra, I have thought that perhaps what I can do is at some stage take him for a ride around the town, a ride around the lands, and just have a look at all of the things we've built so far in this season in detail. If that's something you would like to see, let me know in the comments below and perhaps we can organize something. But now it's back to building and we're going to start off with the canal. As you can see, in the time that my recording got messed up, I have made a little bit of progress. I've got a basic idea of what I want to do with the walls. However, this is a lot of grey. So I'm probably going to be using another block for these areas over here. And I also had an idea to use dispensers that can fill and drain these locks, although I didn't manage to get that working. As soon as you turn on 2 dispensers 1 block apart, it creates a source block in the middle, and I just don't know how to get around that. The other problem, of course, is that I would have needed hundreds of dispensers, and that meant crafting hundreds of bows. I also don't have the stomach for that, so I'm filling all of these holes back up. And then I've got another idea which I'm going to do just to add a little bit of style to the canal. And there we go. This is the idea of the walls. I have gone with some terracotta, and it just breaks up all of that grey. Now, as you can see, I still haven't completely figured out the walkway above it, but we're getting there. So next thing I need to do is build some lock gates, and for that I'm going to use some thick, sturdy spruce. So we're just going to start on these sides and work our way towards the middle. And this should be the last line, and then we have this block over here, which is going to be the middle of the lock gate. Next, I'm going to use some spruce planks to build the rest of the lock gate, but I think I might be building this 1 block too high. And indeed, it was 1 block too high, but we've removed the top layer and we're replacing it with some more thick, sturdy spruce. And finally, we're capping it off with some cut copper slabs. Now, I'm not yet 100% sure whether I'm going to wax this so that it stays nice and pristine, or whether I'm going to let it oxidize. And then finally, just to make sure that the lock gate is indeed sturdy and strong, I'm going to be adding some dark oak signs at the top and the bottom, and that will really give it a look of a strong, sturdy gate that is meant to last a long time. And there we go, the first lock gate has been built, and I really do like the way that it has turned out. So all I need to do now is build another 3. Let's get on it. And we have built all of the lock gates, we have flooded the canal, and the ships can now start coming into the harbor. I have also completed the walkways and given it a bit of a railing, so as you can see, the entire canal is now operational. Up top here, you'll see 3 levers, and if I flick this one, you will see that the canal starts flooding. Now, each of these levers controls one of the locks, and we're going to build a little control house over here from where an operator will be able to flood and drain the locks and get the ships moving in and out of the harbor. So with that done, I now declare this canal open and we are ready to do business with the world. And no sooner had I declared the canal open when this idiot showed up with his absolutely massive boat, and he's also got some unsavory characters on board. We told him the ship is too big to fit through the canal, but he was adamant that it would fit. And indeed it does seem to fit, just barely. Now I've done a bit of an inspection on the boat. There doesn't seem to be anything harmful on board, so we're letting him in. And as you can see down here, he's got an empty hold, which means he's here to buy a lot of goods, and that means great business for our economy. Now I thought the ship looked slightly familiar, so I asked around a bit, and apparently it comes from a far-off land run by a company called Rex Corp. Now I've never heard of them, but they are here to do business, so we will welcome them to our beautiful lands with open arms. And seeing that the foreign merchants are already arriving, I have put a rush order on the lock gatehouse. So even though we are building quickly, we are building with great diligence, and this is going to be an absolutely beautiful house. Let's watch. And the gatehouse is done, complete with an interior, and it is looking absolutely beautiful from every angle. Now all we need to do, of course, is find an operator qualified to work these locks and get the ships into the harbor safely. If you have a CV, please send it in and I will consider your application. But let's take a look inside. And this is the business end, where the levers are that control the locks and flood and drain them. You can see some gauges to keep an eye on the pressure everywhere. And up top is where the new lock operator will be staying. It might look simple, but it is a beautiful little space to call home. And with the merchants coming in, it has become clear to me that our kingdom is also going to need its own ship. A fast little merchant vessel that can carry all of our goods to all of the lands, and to that end, I have collected some materials, and it is now time to get to work on our very own ship. Let's get to it. And our boat is finally complete, and she is a beauty. Small, agile, and quick as the wind, she will carry all of our goods to all of the faraway lands in absolutely no time. So, with the trade routes and the connections we are building from the harbor, it is only a matter of time before our kingdom is world famous. But before that happens, there is something that I've been meaning to do for the longest time. And with our canal looking beautiful, our lock house being an absolute gem, and our very own flagship sitting in the harbor, I think it is finally time to tackle the next item on my list. And that, of course, is this massive ravine next to the warehouse. I've been putting it off because I know it's going to be a massive job, but I think the time has finally come to do something about this eyesore. First things first, I don't want mobs spawning everywhere, so I'm going to be placing a few torches around here before I get started. So let's light it up properly. Get a few torches right over here, one over here, and that should do it. Now it's time to start terraforming, and fortunately all I'm going to be needing is a ton of dirt, and I've got plenty. So the tricky part will be to get this looking like it is a natural mountain, and for that I'm going to start at the bottom, lay down a few layers of dirt just to get some height on it, and then I'll build a wireframe when I get to the top, and that will be my guide to making it conform to the rest of the mountain. So first things first, and then I'm just going to take it up, following the contour of the mountain as I go, and even though I'm sure it's going to look hideous, it gives us something to start off with, and I can shape that and sculpt it into something that will look absolutely fantastic. So let's just get some more dirt in here, and then I think let's pop down and see what we've created, and yep, it's hideous. And we're almost at the top, so I'm going to go up here and create the wireframe, which will guide me into getting the right shape for this mountain. So I'm going to put one in here. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put another one right over here. Let's take it in this way. And once more. And okay, I'm one over that way too many. So there we go. Let's go on the other side and then we'll fill that up. And then we'll create a third one over there. And then fill in the blank spots in between. So let's get this one in. And we've almost filled in the entire mountain. Just a few more blocks to go. And then we can shape and sculpt it a little bit, just to get it looking like a natural Minecraft mountain and not a hideous facade that we've put up to cover up something even more hideous, which is exactly what it is. So just a few more blocks to go up here. And then we can get the top done as well. And all in all, I am quite happy with the result. It is looking not too shabby. And I think once the grass comes in, this will actually look really good. I might even put in some bushes cascading down the mountain just to give it a little bit of extra flair. However, from this side, it still looks absolutely terrible, and I have no idea what I want to do here. Perhaps I'll make a giant cave entrance or something, but for now, my job here is just about done. So let's move on. And the next item on our list is, of course, Sheep Island over here. Now what I want to do is clear it off completely and then build a giant pedestal where we can put up a statue, welcoming and greeting all of the travelers that come through the lock into the harbor. Of course, the first thing we need to do is a little bit of deforestation, and while that's never a good thing, in the world of Minecraft, it is sometimes necessary. So let's get rid of all these trees, and then we're going to need to flatten off the top of the island, terraform it a little bit, and of course, build it into a magnificent pedestal. So let's jump into a time lapse and see the result. And the base is finally ready, which means it is time to start building our statue. And of course, we are going to be building a giant sheep in honor of the sheep that used to live on this island. Now, in order to build a giant sheep, we are going to need tons and tons of wool. And if you need tons of wool, there's only one man to call. The following preview has been rated R for ridiculous. All he wanted was a simple life. But just when he thought he had got out, they pulled him back in. one man can never have enough, and so he must get more. Fungusaurus Rex is back, and he is facing his most perilous mission yet. In order to survive, he must face the danger, and he must take to the skies. Fungusaurus Rex in The Wool Ninja 2. A cut from above. Still never coming to theaters anywhere ever. And The Wool Ninja was indeed very, very successful, but he had a secret. He's got a wool farm over here with a bunch of sheep, because you can only snip so much wool from wild sheep. And to build this sheep, I need an absolute ton of it. I need almost 2,000 blocks of white wool. Now, why am I not using my wool farm in the castle? Because it's very slow, it sucks, I'm not close enough for it actually to be effective, and as a result, I needed to do something drastic. So I've been in here snipping wool for hours and hours on end, and I think we just about have enough. And we have the wool, we have the platform to build it on, so it's time to get busy and create a beacon that will welcome all the sailors into the harbor. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to build ourselves a giant sheep. And the sheep is complete. Say hello to Dolly. And Dolly will become an icon of our lands, the first thing that sailors see as they sail into the harbor, and the last thing they see before they depart. And we've done an absolute ton of building today, starting off, of course, with our beautiful canal, which is looking absolutely spectacular. Then, of course, we've also built the giant ship, which is currently sitting in the canal. And on top of the canal, we have built our beautiful lock control house, where the lock operator will live, where he will do his work, and where he will be guiding the ships in and out of the harbor, filling the locks, emptying the locks. It's an important job, and somebody has to do it. Hopefully, among all the candidates clamoring for the position, we will find the most competent, the most brilliant, and the most dedicated worker to fill the position. Of course, we also built up the side of the mountain, and with the grass coming in, it is starting to look quite lovely. I think some bushes over there will do just the trick. And in the harbor itself, we have constructed our merchant vessel. The gangplank is down, they are taking goods aboard as we speak, and pretty soon it will set sail to far-off lands to go and sell our wares, making a name for our kingdom as purveyors of the finest goods in all the lands. And then finally, we have Dolly, the icon erected in memory of all the sheep that once called this island home. But that, ladies and gents, is all we have time for today. I really do hope you enjoyed the episode. Leave a like if you did, and if you want to see some more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But this is Fungusaurus Rex saying until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye bye.